What are you gonna?
You said have fun. I thought you were gonna say something.
I said how fun.
How fun.
I want to know. What are we talking about? What are we doing?
We're supposed to be answering questions. We just finished an episode. It was pretty good. I think you know what? I'll say this. Maybe the best episode we've ever done.
Ooh,
maybe the best
bold
episode we've ever done.
statement.
I'll say that. And there's been a lot of good episodes. There was the one where I brought a chainsaw into the room. There was the episode where I tried joining the army and they turned me down.
We've done that one 2 or 3 times.
There's been a lot of really good episodes of Basket of Cats, but I think the last one we did, probably the best one we've ever done.
I know. There was the episode where we played Operation, but it was your body.
Yeah.
And every time that I stabbed you,
where we allow a random listener to give me any surgery they want if they win kind of like a raffle style
would you ever get surgery, like cosmetic surgery?
No.
Really?
No, I'm a big proponent of allowing time to ravage me.
But what if it was like you wouldn't even get like there's nothing you would change?
No, I want time to beat the I got a scar on my face, which is actually healing now, but they were like, if you don't put the whatever cream on this, it'll like scar forever, and I was like, let it.
That is a level of pretty people privilege I've never even heard of.
I know. Hey, whatever.
Now you're trying to fit in with the rest of us?
But the thing is, like, here's the issue with all that shit, is when you start, I feel like it's a slippery slope in terms of, like, certain people's attachment to cosmetic surgery, where if you try, like, there's, like, so it's easier for me to just be like, no, I'm good. I'll get wrinkles. I'll be old.
I had liposuction on my neck.
Okay.
And I had this eyelid cut out.
But I think that you have like a healthier connection to
no, I don't.
Cosmetics in general. You don't think you do?
Sometimes I literally lay in bed and I'm like, I can get a whole new face.
Then maybe I did the right thing. Maybe I'm doing the right thing then.
You know, before I started working out with you, I canceled 2 BBL appointments.
Oh my god.
2. I had 2. I canceled one, came back. I even went as far as to have my business manager message in and see if I could get a discount if we lived it.
You were going to live stream a BBL surgery, which is, by the way, the most deadly surgery you can get.
Yeah, but what do I have to live for without an ass?
But so that is literally probably the thought process most of these people have going into a BBL.
I just want you to know the only people that told me not to do it were my guy friends. No one else said anything to me.
Interesting. Well, listen, I'm all with the like, we down with the men or whatever. We were right on that one, okay? We were correct on that one.
I don't know. Sometimes I still go back and forth.
No.
I teeter-totter with the idea a lot.
No,
working out takes so long.
There's nothing wrong with getting whatever. I think if you want to get whatever cosmetic surgery you want, get the cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Put your feet on your hands on your feet if that makes you comfortable.
You want to flex.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? You fucking run like this.
Yeah, you'd be fast as shit.
Oh, do you think that would a guy with a foot fetish would just lose his fucking mind?
Actually, I think it'd be smarter if you did hands on your feet and you had hands here and you just had all the hands.
Oh, double hands.
Because feet really can't do that much. You know what I mean?
Kind of like how a chimp can.
So you could learn to walk on your hands.
Isn't it crazy to think that surgery would probably be less dangerous than a BBL?
Listen, I would get so much attention.
But my whole thing with cosmetic surgery is obviously like I think I stand in this weird middle ground where I'm like, obviously 100% do whatever you want, your money, your decisions, your body, all that 100%. But on like a micro level, I do think it is important for everybody who's getting surgery to make sure like they themselves are their mental health is accounted for and shit. Like, because I think there are people who get a level of plastic surgery where afterwards it's like their body just, and it's, who I think a big issue with that shit is too? The fucking surgeons doing it. Because there's a level of like cosmetic surgery where it's like, brother, this is unhealthy what you're doing right now.
But their body, their choice. So they're like, some people also, the people, who is I think the most happy with their cosmetic surgery?
Who is that?
The people who look batshit crazy.
Really?
Because they're living in exactly the truth they wanted in their head. They wanted lips this big. They wanted, like, you ever seen the tiger lady, the cat lady, whatever her name is? She's like a billionaire. Heiress. And
yes.
She is. People are like, she looks crazy, and I'm like, but that's what she wanted to look like, and she's She went out and said, "I'm gonna look just like this."
She's
great. Her eyes don't close.
What do you mean her eyes don't close?
They're pulled. She can't close her eyes.
That's nuts.
That's what I've heard.
Well,
allegedly.
But it does part of it does make me sad because it's like both of us have a connection to this, but it's like Joan Rivers is like the funniest woman in the world. Her whole life just did what she fucking wanted to do. She wanted the fucking cause, all that stuff. But to me, I am like, well, but it's also to be kind of sad that she died under elective surgery. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, she did, but that was they like sued the hospital and stuff.
Oh, they did.
There was a lot to that.
But
I think that people were like taking pictures with her body while she was like under and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I remember. I don't know. I'm not Melissa Rivers, but I remember reading about.
But that is a risk. Not to say that happens all the time, but that is a risk that you run, and that's like what know you're getting yourself into is like whenever you go under anesthesia. Like I got my septum fixed. And it's so funny because when you get your septum fixed, they're like, we'll just give you a nose job too, and I'm like, I don't want a nose. Why would you assume that I want a nose? I just want to breathe better.
Oh yeah, I have to get my septum fixed soon.
Yeah,
because I have a huge septum, which is probably not interesting to these people, but yes, I have to do that too.
What do you mean it's not interesting? Everybody, listen.
But you know, I wasn't asleep for lipo on my neck. They don't put you, and also for BBL, you don't have to be asleep anymore either. They just give you local anesthesia.
You're awake.
I was awake for the whole thing, and they give you gas, and I was. And my doctor was very young and attractive, and when he walked through the room, I went, no. That's exactly what, and he was like, what? And I was like, you can't do this surgery. And he was like, why? I was like, why do you think? And then he was like, telling me how he was bullied, and I was like, were you bullied?
For being too hot.
Yeah, and then he was very nice and very good, but the nurse, she was like dying laughing, she thought it was hysterical.
It is very funny.
He was like sucking the fat out of me, and I remember laying there because you take like this gas to make you calm down. And I couldn't feel anything, but I remember being like, you know, you're trying to make this seem all normal talking to me, but I know you're sucking fat out of my neck. And it was crazy. But like, yeah, same thing with the BBL, they just numb you up now, and they would just, you can go to ones I get that are more intense than that, but the one that I was going to do, I was just be awake for the whole thing.
Wow. Yeah, here's, I guess I see it similarly to, like, because it's weird, because some people, it's like, they truly do get like whatever done, and then they're done, and they're like, perfect, this is what I wanted to look like, I did it.
Oh yeah.
I will say, with other people though, it goes into the realm of addiction, which to me also falls under the your body, do whatever you want, but also when it comes to addiction, it's this weird middle ground of personal choice and personal decision, and also those personal choices and decisions coming from a sort of dark place that you would probably benefit from dealing with.
Oh yeah, 100%. And also there's the whole, there's also the flip side of it where people get like, because we know there's this like, for some reason there's this like negative stigma around like changing anything about your body, whereas if you're like lying or tricking people or something.
Yeah.
And so like you don't even want to tell people you had anything done. Like I've told everybody everything. Like even this, like saying this right now, if I ever make any kind of progress with the gym, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you got it. I can just see it happening now," which is fine. Because when I got my neck lipo, we like put it on the podcast. I filmed in high while I was doing it on the gas.
So funny.
And we put it all up, and for months, everything I posted, people were only comment was about my neck, and it was as if like, okay, well, it's the same fucking neck. I just took some shit out of it, and it's my shit to take out of it. Right. But like, so it did become like this huge part of my personality for a minute, like unbeknownst to me, to the point where I was like, oh my god, should I not talk about this? So when I got my eye, which my eye was like literally like coming down too far into my eye, right. My eyelid was well and had one done, and I was like, I don't know if I should say that because people are gonna be like. So So then I did post about it. People were like, well, why'd you only do one? The other one, I'm like, oh my god, now you're critiquing my other eye? Like, it's so fun. So I understand why people like lie about it. They're like, no, I only put oregano all over my skin at night. And that's why I had this taut skin. It's like, no, you didn't. You had a facelift. Like, but you don't want to say it because it becomes like this horrible thing you did.
My mom got a facelift and told us she got into a car accident.
Your mom got a facelift?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And she was like, yeah, I got into a car accident. Me and my sister and my dad were on like a vacation, and then we came back, and my mom was like all bandaged up, obviously, because like I'm sure she got like a great facelift or whatever, but it's an invasive fucking thing.
Oh yeah, they cut me. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and we were like, what happened? She was like, as though saying she got into a car accident would be better for the mental states of her children. It's like, looking back on, I'm like, I would have much rather known like a doctor had to do with this. That would have made me feel a lot better about your safety.
She got into a car wreck and then looked better. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, hey,
what? You're just trying to crash.
Yeah. What? I'm just looking for fucking Ford Tauruses to smash into.
Literally.
It's so funny. Yeah, if you get hit by a Mercedes, you actually come out looking beautiful.
Well, that's one of the reasons that I was like, oh, I'm gonna like message Dan about working out, because I was getting to a place where I was, and not that I did a bunch of stuff, but everything in my head, I was like, well, I could just fix this if I had more. If I had the money, I could just get rid of it. Like if I had the money, I could just. And then I was like, why don't you take a break and see what you can do on your own for a minute, because you're getting a little too willy nilly with like, I'll just pay to fix this.
You can get into it with anything. Getting things fixed and fine tuning things can be good or bad. And if you start tilting towards the bad, it can go really off the tracks. Yeah. If you start like that perfectionist shit, can really go off the tracks. But
I have that a lot. Like I get down to even being like I'm like if I remove this scar that I have, then people will think I'm attractive. If I do then, and then even because I recently had that done where I had a scar on my leg removed for this doctor, or my dermatologist, and when I came in, he kept doing like. He was like doing like a check, because I get my tattoos and stuff checked, I don't know what's going on in there. They're tattoos. I don't know if I have a mole or something. And so he was like going through them, which is because I'm paranoid about dying all the time. So he was going through them all, and then I was like, also I kept mentioning it, and he was like, yeah, it's not a big of a deal. It's just like a little spot. And I was like, and I still have it. He's like, do you want to take it off? And I was like, yes, thank you. Good idea. I just kept saying it to the point.
You're so smart.
I just kept saying it to the point where it was like his idea. I was like, well, the doctor said I need you to take it off.
I had to.
I mean, if that's what you think, dog.
So funny. Yeah, well, and you know something that my girlfriend always tells me is, you have no idea how many people have gotten elective surgery. You have no clue. If you only see, like, because people always be like, oh, why do people get elective surgery? It always looks bad. It's like, those are the motherfuckers that you notice got elective surgery that look bad.
Yeah.
The ones that look good, you don't notice it.
Yeah, which is the point.
But yeah, but let me tell you something about the gym, though. Exact same thing. You can go in there, have really healthy goals and healthy standards, and with like a clear mind, you work out and you feel great and all that stuff. Or, like I experienced in college, and college is the #1 place for this, for like Gym Cell. You know Gym Cell? It's like Incel, but you're
I know Jim Crow, and that was horrible.
Yeah, well, that was very bad. This is not as bad as that.
Okay.
But
I don't trust gyms anymore.
But like there's young men, and it's like, I think it is kind of the only outlet that they can find, because like their lives are hard and they're trying to figure it out and all that shit. So they just go to the gym, and it becomes sort of an obsessive thing, and it becomes what they replace social life with, is the gym. That shit gets dark, because those motherfuckers are going through a lot of pain and a lot of hardship, but everybody's like, you look awesome, dude. You're the coolest guy ever. And it's like, yo, no, stop it. But I mean, I was a victim to that too. When I was going to the gym and shit, I would see these like fucking big brolic dudes, and when I started talking, I'd be like, dude, you look fucking awesome. Like, you're swole. And they're like, oh yeah. And then later on, get to know them, come to find out, like, no, they're going through like a really hard time right now. But you don't know that, because your whole metric system of like whether someone's doing good or not is how much they fucking bench press and how sick they look. And it's like, no, this guy's like spending all of his money on steroids and feels uncomfortable talking to people. And it's, you know,
that's sad too.
I also don't like when people like make fun of anyone and anything. Like, I have no problem with it, but I think people go too far with like. I think people think there are some targets of making, which there are, that are like completely free game, and I think people see them as completely free game, and I think we should dial it back a little bit, because I think a lot of those guys do have a really hard time.
Oh, I'm sure if you're spending all of your time working on your body for not like a competition or a hobby or like a skill, then something.
And even if it is a competition or a hobby or a skill, a lot of times that shit is actually in a kind of dark place for those people.
Well, that's really depressing.
Yeah.
Now, literally, you're like, we can make fun of everybody but people in the gym.
That is not what I said.
Feels like you're protecting yourself.
That is not what I said. I said there are things that are free game.
But this is the internet, and that's what they heard.
There are things that are free game to make fun of. You know what I mean? If you're like, if you're making fun of like people in the Klan or whatever, it's like, yeah, have at it. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, but motherfuckers will act like those guys, like fucking beefheads, don't have their own inner shit that they're working on.
And everybody has their own inner shit.
Most of them do. We have 3 people in the live right now. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns? We would love to hear it. We're having a lot of fun talking right now. But if you guys want to add something or ask a question, this is the interactive portion of the live.
You know, speaking of the gym though, while they're typing their questions, I've told you this, but I have this one guy that follows me that every time I post something in the gym, he comments on how fat my legs are.
So crazy.
And he is like, it's like obsessive to the point where I'm like, what's going on here?
You have the strongest legs ever too.
I was like, why are you so mad at me? I was like, obviously, yeah, there'll be fat on.
Did you actually say that to this person?
No, I didn't to this person. I didn't even know I saw the message until I guess they hear this. But it's like every message they send is about that, and I'm like, my legs aren't even in every picture.
Yeah, but he just
what a psycho.
He just finds
I think it's funny how people pinpoint things like that, like how they like latch onto something, and I'm like, this is about you.
Oh, obviously. Any comment like that you get on something, I always see about it being about you. Speaking of comments, hey, folks, let's pick it up.
Do you think these are like 3 people that just are like? They're just like staring at you. They're just like big Dan fans, like hating.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is. Whenever I see anyone in the live or watching anything that I do, I always go, probably a big Dan fan.
Like seriously though, like there's these 3 people. They're just like, oh my god.
Do you think they're cranking it off right now?
No, I didn't mean that.
Okay,
you
well,
sicko.
That's what I asked.
I meant like they have like little Dan pictures of you everywhere, and like they're like big Dan fans. Like you're like they're Justin Bieber.
We're gonna have to do this story on the podcast too, because it's very funny. But I just remembered something from high school. I was Romeo and Juliet, and there was a mom that came up to me after the play once, and she was like, "Can I take a picture of you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And she just took a picture of me, and I was like, "That's weird," but I didn't know how. And she was like, "My daughter loves you." She was in like middle school at the time. And we're going to get like a cardboard cutout of you made and give it to her as a birthday gift.
Well, that is dark.
So somewhere...
That girl's growing up for some...
Something's wrong. Something's going wrong. But somewhere in the world, there's a cardboard cutout of me in tights. And I want nothing more than to find it. I want nothing more than to know where this is. And I have no idea. I really want to know. I don't remember the name of the woman who took the picture. I obviously didn't know who the person was that got the picture.
Moms are really good about coming up to do things like that. When I was in Vegas, I was 16. I had my little scene kid haircut, which resembles a soccer mom.
I think I saw a picture of you. It looks fucking
the amount
sick.
of moms that stopped me to take a picture of my hair to get their hair done like that
my God,
was wild. Also, even to this day, if I'm out in public and by the grace of God, someone notices me from like Good For You or something like that, and it's always the wife that will come and be like, my husband really is big. Can you talk to them? And I'll just be like, hi. And they're like way over there. I'm like, and I'm like, actually, I understand this. This will be me over here too. So I like totally get it.
Yeah.
But the moms are always just like, I don't know. He's like, oh, I got what I was thinking. She was like, always. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Which is so weird as someone who is like, did not have a good relationship with like men, and then not like, hi. And I'm like, hi.
I always just like, I mean, I hope when people, the rare times after like shows and stuff, people will come up to me. I hope they get like a good experience from that. But I usually don't go up to people that like I don't know that I like their stuff, because I rarely go away from those interactions feeling awesome.
Yeah,
it's
a
very special kind of person, I think, that can make someone leave those interactions feeling good.
If I only will go up to somebody like that I like really admire something if I have like something meaningful I want to say.
Yeah.
Like when I went up to Whitney, I was like I really enjoy like the work that you did and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to say. Like I didn't want to picture anything, or like vice versa. Like if I ever met anyone that would come on the podcast, like I would usually just let them be unless there was something that like really affected me.
Right.
Like if I met Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'd be like, let me tell you all these things. I need to tell you this deep secret.
Yeah, when I saw Harry Styles, I was like, I've been going through your garbage and I found a lot of your hair and I have it back in my house right now. So like meaningful stuff like that.
That is meaningful.
I think it's important.
I think he's actually really into that.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Have
you ever gotten like artwork or fan like?
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah, some people have drawn pictures of me.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
This right here, this cow picture this little girl drew of me, I think is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
It's very sick.
I have like these people made a Lego.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the coolest thing ever, and they gave me a note with that Lego that said "Icon Lego Star."
Very cute. Come on.
I was like, you are a just my favorite.
That's really
that
cool.
kind of or like those pop figures. That girl painted that. I was like, you were sitting around painting this shit.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
I've had people ask for a PO box, but I'm like, don't.
Yeah, I can't. Also, I would never go. I would having to go do another chore.
Another thing. Thank you.
I'll just give you my address.
If anyone wants to throw a comment or question in the chat, we would love to answer it. We would love to.
We love to do these in the middle of the day when everyone's working.
Interact. Are the comments? Are they not working because? No. Yeah, no. Just no one's.
Because they're watching.
No one's thrown in though. I want to talk to some of these people. I want to say hi.
We probably do an Instagram live to get people to talk.
I guess so. But this is right there.
Oh.
I just want everyone to know it took me 10 minutes to figure out how to comment. Oh, just enjoying it here. Look at that. Oh, people are commenting.
Oh my god, you're so happy.
Let's go. This rules.
You are just so joyful.
This is the coolest thing ever. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. We get to fucking talk to people. Casey Smith said, hey, guys.
Hey.
Nothing wrong with that. We're about to go to from Colorado. You ever been to Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
You do Denver?
Yeah, I like Colorado. I like Denver too.
Denver was sick. I love a place where half the buildings are breweries.
Yeah.
If I go to a place where 78% of the infrastructure is brewery based, there's gonna be some fun people there.
I love a place where outsiders may not be able to breathe when they get there.
Oh yeah.
I like for nature to be like, you belong in Colorado or you don't.
And when I first went there, I immediately had a really hard workout and then bombed my show because I could not keep my eyes open.
Like you were sleepy?
I was like dead. I was falling asleep. Yeah, because my body just didn't have enough oxygen. I went for like a super hard run and then I sprinted and shit.
Oh, I literally have never I never experienced that. But I will say I did comedy in Colorado once in the daytime during the pandemic, like while the sun was out. Which is just a recipe for disaster. There's no good comedy when the sun is out.
Never.
I just want you to know it doesn't exist. And that was really, it was just so wild to be like, to do comedy daytime and it just be like a shit show. And then as soon as the sun went down for the next show, it was like just the great experience. It's because, I think it's that people can know that you can see them. And in a comedy show, the part of the joy of laughing is that no one can see your gross laugh face, which everybody thinks they have. Which in reality, everyone's laughing is iconic. You should not be ashamed of that. But it's because you're like, oh, they can see me laughing.
I just had this conversation with a friend of mine, Andrea Moore, who's very, very funny. I love her. She's on Twitter. And she was like, I'm doing this guy's show. Tell me what you think about it. Like, is it like going to be a hard show? Like, what am I walking into? All I had to say is, starts at 5 p.m. And she was like, and it's starts at 5 p.m. outside. And she was like, okay, got it. It is so different. It is so.
It's so weird.
People can see. I'm like, should I just be dancing right now? Do I need to bring out a watermelon to smash with a hammer? Because this is what you guys want right now. You want to be at a state fair. I'm not a state fair.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'm not a state fair act. I'm an act for like a comedy club or a theater or whatever. I'm an act.
You said or an arena or a stadium
or an arena
or the White House.
Or I'm performing at the White House. Yeah, catch me at the White House this Sunday.
That is true though. People don't like it, and it's because most of the time things that comedians are talking about are nighttime things.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I see the issue. There we go.
This whole time people are like, we've been commenting, you stupid son
of a
bitch.
we're so have people been commenting before? No, that's all. Okay, good.
You've bullied them into commenting.
Are we coming to Colorado soon? We just did our first show together, which went very well.
In San Diego.
We will be doing
that's so similar.
We'll only do San Diego. Yeah, we're only a San Diego act, but no, hopefully we'll do live shows. The podcast, we're just getting off the ground, folks. We're just
we do. The more you support the podcast, the more we can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
it's
ironically how everything works.
You're doing this to us. All the pressure is on you. I'm just happy they're watching it live.
Yeah, but technically though, you're not joking though. A lot of the pressure on when people like something, the pressure is equally on both parties because
I don't agree with that.
Oh, I do because I always make it a point like if I like something, and this is not to say that people are bad for not doing this, but I'm saying like in general, I know just from being a part of this that if I see a comedian or a singer or something that maybe is not the most mainstream, I always share that stuff or show it because I'm like I want to see more of this, and that's how you say those things to an industry that's just one big bank.
Shout out to Swish. There's an R&B artist whose name is Swish, and I really like Swish.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, that kind of stuff, I think people should always be showing that stuff. Sometimes people, I think, get embarrassed to, like things before they're cool.
I sure am. Yeah, I sure am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get embarrassed to share. Well, but it's also kind of a cool credit. You know what I mean? I like to think if people like Basket of Cats right now, they get a little cool credit.
That is cool, I think.
They be motherfucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're really good about, you share all your friends and stuff all the time.
Yeah. Well, because I think they're funny.
Yeah.
I think they're just funny.
But I mean, that's how we vote in these situations. And it's important to vote.
Hey, don't forget. As a fellow Mississippian who just moved back, please do a show in Mississippi. Come to, how do you spell that? Hattiesburg?
Yeah.
Hattiesburg?
I like Mississippi. I like doing shows in the South because those people, they like to party.
Oh, yeah.
They like to have fun, and there's usually not a lot going on. There's a lot going on, but not like...
not like comedy.
Like comedy. Yeah. So there's not like a lot of venues like that. I know like when people come to do comedy shows, like one of the best places I think to perform is in Alabama.
Yeah.
That comedy club there is so fun because people...
Funny Bone?
No, it's I didn't say the name because I couldn't remember, and now you put me on the spot. This is great, and I performed there many a time.
Forget about it.
It's very good, and I'll remember in a minute.
You'll never.
The same people that own Zany's on it, but it's a great comedy club. And every single time I perform there, those people are just so excited to be like, ow! Like they've planned their whole day around this comedy show. It's like never been a bad time.
That's why I get so mad in
Stand Up Live is what it's called.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's a Stand Up Live in Arizona I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I hate this so much. Motherfuckers in LA disrespecting Southern road guys makes me so mad. Because I get it if they're like shitty or whatever. Jeff Foxworthy is a national treasure. Okay? You don't have to like the comedy, but that motherfucker is clean, works clean, people love him, he does every show on the fucking road that you can possibly do, put in as many hours, and people will shit on him because of the like blue collar comedy shit. It's like, that motherfucker is a worker. If you're a comedian, you have to respect him.
Also, who cares if you like what he's doing or not? It doesn't negate the fact that it's very good. And it's done very well.
Yes.
You can not like it and think it's done well.
That motherfucker.
Not everything has to be for you.
That motherfucker is a craftsman. And it's like everybody respects Ron White, which you should. Ron White is also amazing. But motherfuckers disrespect Jeff Foxworthy's name, and that pisses me off.
What I like about you is you have very Southern energy. Like even when we were driving to San Diego, it was a bunch of like it was
oh yeah.
I was not prepared. I was like, this is not what I thought was
going
to be happening.
I like listening to country music.
Yeah, you really do. Me too. But I just wasn't expecting. I was like, oh.
What did you think I would be listening to?
I thought you'd be listening to like, I don't know, like either rap or
Christmas music. I like rap too.
I thought you'd be listening to a lot of rap or something like very like
Moneybag Yo. It's great.
Like screamo music. I figured a lot of that
energy. No, I'm not much of a screamo fellow myself.
Yeah, I didn't realize there would be so many like sad male love songs. In fact, I forget sometimes that men even make music until I got in the car with you. I was like, oh, men sing. I forgot.
You heard my joke, or maybe you weren't watching at that point. But when I
maybe I quit watching you
about male. Yeah, you tapped out about male country singers.
Yes, I watched your whole set. I didn't leave in the middle of your set like a psychopath.
That's very nice. That's nice of you to say. But yeah, I like country music a lot.
Yeah, you really do. And I was so shocked, and I was like, I really got in the car, and I was like, oh my god, there are so many male singers I did not even know.
I want to learn more about country music, honestly. Like, there's like some Buck Owens songs I was listening to, and I'm like, you know, there's a lot of, especially in country music in those days, there's a lot of like repetitiveness and shit, but there is some bangers. Buck Owens has some fucking heaters coming out.
You a big Dolly Parton fan?
Oh, of course. I mean, I was into Dolly like a long time. Like I
was so long ago.
But in the beginning of her career, I was a fan. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like country music a lot. And I hope you guys like the podcast a lot.
I hope you guys like the podcast too. We do put in. I mean, I would like to say we work really hard on it, and we try to make it better and better as we go.
I taught myself how to use editing software.
Yeah, and I taught myself how to. I mean, everything in this room I had to learn how to use. The camera, the lights, all of it.
Yeah. Though we're fucking now podcast producers.
Yeah, and I mean, I even get out of my comfort zone and I'll text people and be like, hey, do you mind to help me with this? I really don't understand it.
Yeah.
And like everyone does, and I think it makes for better and better and better content. I mean, we're getting another camera soon. Like everything, I think is getting better.
It's great. I love this stage. But thank you guys for watching. Please keep
watching, subscribing, liking, commenting. All that stuff really helps. It's super, super helpful.
I'm not good at this.
And also, Dan really loves it as well. Whenever you guys share like what you want to hear, what you want to see, what you want us to talk about. We try to read and respond to all the comments on YouTube. We try to do that. I mean, I try to do that pretty much everywhere, but and so does Dan, I think. So I mean, anything you want to see, like I really want the podcast to be what you guys want it to be, not just what we want it to be.
Yes.
Because I mean, if it's not, I would just be talking to myself in this room.
For you.
So so let us know whatever you want to see and what will make you happy, what you think is interesting. If we get something wrong, if we get it right, like I love the discussions and the
especially wrong.
Yeah, I love when people in the comments are like, actually, this is what you're talking about.
Boo! Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you, folks.
Okay, bye.